Hey everyone, you're probably wondering what's been happening with Dungeons & Ale, as we've gone on multiple hiatuses and there was multiple problems. I thought it would be fun to explain to you what's going on with this channel, what we're going to be doing with this channel, the campaigns that we have planned, and then give you a studio tour of why all of this looks different around me. And trust me, I hope you're going to be as excited as we are to be working on this. So let me start at the beginning. Dungeons & Ale started as a fun passion project that me, Dan, Houston, and Andy decided to do. We're huge fans of Dungeons & Dragons and creating our own campaigns, and we decided to start doing them on Comicstorian, and you guys enjoyed them. So because of that, we decided to make a channel, and maybe we can actually do some fun Dungeons & Dragons stuff with our community. We wanted to combine it with our existing podcast, Three Beers and a Topic, I think was the name of it. Yeah, 3 Beers and a Topic, because we couldn't find a home for 3 Beers and a Topic. So we thought 3 beers in a Dungeons & Dragons game, hence the name Dungeons & Ale, where I try to learn how to be a bartender in the front of our videos. The channel's been doing good. We're super happy with the response, and you guys have been incredible for following every single one of the videos. But out of all of the side projects that we started at Comicstorian, which include the podcast channel, Absolutely Marvel and DC, the gaming channel, Ben and Friends, the Comicstorian Full Story channel, the Shorts channel, the other spin-off channels, and our other projects, which include a hot sauce that we're making and a t-shirt company, this actually became the hardest one to schedule. And the reason for that is it was still being managed in our old studio, which was a basement room inside of one of the spaces that I was at. I don't own that house anymore, but we were allowed to use that space in the basement. So what ended up happening was we would have to show up, arrange it with the residents in the house, go to this one room in the basement. All of our equipment was crammed in there, and it was difficult to arrange the scheduling, get everyone over there, keep everyone excited because you're in this crammed in little closet kind of space. The room was big, but when you put 4 or 5 lights, a dozen cameras, it gets pretty cramped. So I didn't like filming there, and neither did a lot of the team members. What you're looking at and what you're about to see in the studio tour is my house. We basically turned the basement into my dream gaming space, from a theater for my gaming on my consoles and a giant gaming table that was given to us by an amazing fan who's a great friend at this point and gave us this gaming table, one of those wormwood ones, and stuff like that. And we had all of this, but we weren't using it. And the reason is this space is very spacious, which is very hard to record. So multiple times I was trying to figure out how we could move the efforts over here into my much better gaming space and film it. And we finally figured out a way to do that, which we're hoping is going to allow us to film more games, do more stuff, and get more things out here on Dungeons & Ale. On top of that, we're planning quite a few more campaigns. Andy's already working on the hardcore campaign, as you know, and I'm working on Spider-Verse. But on top of that, we're planning on The Band Season 2, where we're gonna Huey's on a journey to get the power to have sex with a dragon. And we're also working on Miscreation Season 2, in which the guys are gonna learn about the great evil beneath the planet. I'm already planning that whole thing out, but listening to a lot of the Godzilla soundtrack recently. On top of that, we're also looking at doing a mini campaign themed around Pokemon to go around when that game comes out. And we're still working on our next Silverton chapter, which is our horror campaign. So we have a lot on the plans right now, and we wanted to let you guys know that the channel is nowhere near dead. As a matter of fact, we just spent a lot of money to move it over here. So going forward, we're hoping to get back to our proper schedule, as we're going to be filming these off the air so they're not live, so we don't have to arrange that schedule. And we're going to be doing them at my house, which will be a lot easier to schedule, as I just need to check with the wife to make sure she's okay with a bunch of guys coming over here making a lot of noise. I also want to answer one frequently asked question we've been getting lately: the Nova Corps game. Why have we not finished it? Technically we did. They chose the bad ending, and when we got away from the cameras, they were like, you know, it'd be cool if we just end it there instead of having the big final fight. So they decided that's the ending they wanted. They wanted the bad ending, but they let the universe be controlled by the Universal Church of Truth. And we should be starting up all the new campaigns within a week or two. Hardcore games should be coming back next week, provided the footage is functional and usable and good. And if it is, then we're going to be filming the rest of the stuff for you guys to enjoy. Now, we're going to cut to the studio tour, which is entirely filmed on Dan's phone and on a lav mic. So it's going to sound different and look different, but you'll finally get to see where all of this stuff is happening. So first off, this is what I call my statue wall. We end up picking up these statues for set purposes. And then after a month or two, I get to bring them home because now they're write-offs. So, but I'm very proud of this wall. So we have Dark Souls statues here. We have Green Lantern. We have Solid Snake. This is the Assassin's Creed row. We have Venom, Flash, Yuri, she's my main in Street Fighter, if you're wondering. Sif, Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, Ibuki and Cammy, my two backup mains in Street Fighter. So this is the wall, the major wall with the best statues. We have a bunch of statues in the closet and we have a bunch of statues in the other room. You're gonna see those in a minute. Over here in our space is my arcade one-up row. I've got Marvel vs. Capcom coming in, but I do have Street Fighter, X-Men the arcade machine. Come on, I gotta have X-Men the arcade machine. I'm the Comicstorian. Why wouldn't I? And then Galaga Miss Pac-Man because I'm an old guy. I have on this table here, this is our card table, which we play card games on, but now it's become a piece to display this Pokemon chessboard. Look at the detail in this Rapidash. Like, this is crazy. Just stuff we've found on our adventures. We packed this up and put it away and we're playing cards, but recently we've been using the Wormwood table, which is where our D&D game is going on. I'm trying to angle it down so you can turn easy. So this is the board game table that we were gifted by a friend of mine. He started as a fan. He came to visit, we helped him out with some stuff, and in exchange for, not exchange, but when we were done, as a gift, he gave me this Wormwood table because we played so many board games. And the original plan, before we filmed in the other studio, was to film on this table, because this thing is expensive and impressive, and we never did. And that's why we wanted to move here, because I wanted to use this table properly. It's still set up from the game we just did, but like it comes with these. These are charge blocks that you can put your phone on while we're playing. These are magnetic. I think this has got water in it, so I don't want to spill that. But your cup holders are magnetic. This port rises up. Right now, it's so handy. We have our Assassin's Creed tabletop game tucked underneath there so that we can just pull it out when we're ready to play it. And we did D&D on here. We have, I don't know the official name of it, but the dragon from Dungeons & Dragons. It's like Rathalidio, whatever. I call it Rathalos as a joke because it reminds me of the red dragon from Monster Hunter. But Houston can pronounce its real name. I can't. And next to it, which wasn't supposed to be here, but it ended up being here, my Neon Genesis Ava 1. I'd like to comment that it is slightly broken because this head is very loosely on there and it fell off multiple times. So now it's tucked back awkwardly so that you can't bump into it. Over here, this is where we've been filming Dungeons and Ale, the ale portions. This is actually my home bar. It's very messy right now. We were just using it for filming. But I've got like a whiskey collection up there. I've got all the mixers there. I got more mixers there. I have a bad habit of buying new mixers when we need to mix something. And that ends up with me just basically having a bunch of extras and dupes. Like I have like 4 things of mixing brandies. But they're all like $20 drinks. I'm debating just getting rid of a lot of the $20 stuff. So if you happen to be nearby and want liquor, I'll give it away. That's a joke. Don't actually look for my house to try and take my liquor, okay? This is my achievements within Destiny 2. It goes here because we had nowhere else to put it. This is where I record the audios for Comicstorian. This is the background for Absolutely Marvel and DC. These are the infamous naked statues. If you've been watching Absolutely Marvel and DC, no, you will not see them naked on this video. This is my workstation. There's my camera. I have done nothing with these walls because no one can see them, and I try my best to not be in this office unless I have to work. This is, I don't know what I was thinking with this, but this just kind of became all the statues that don't look good elsewhere. So we got like the 2 characters from Gravity Rush. I've got Rey and Asuka from Neon Genesis, Demon Form Nezuko, which Dan has informed me I have not made it that far into the Demon Slayer anime, and I should give him that. Then we've got Journey, we've got Fire Emblem. Froppy just fits in there. For some reason, she looks well with them. I've got more stuff that I've earned in Destiny. This needs to be fixed up because this is where the things used to be back there. So the reason I'm showing you guys this is where we're filming everything from. So you're gonna see this, like this set in Comics Experiment. You're gonna see the other set for Dungeons and Ale. And you're gonna see this other room over here for more Comics Experiment because Dan and I are going to be basically moving rooms on a frequent basis so that we can have different sets for the different stuff. So this is where we play our video games and where we've been doing a lot of recordings for those kind of things. And we're gonna be using this couch and that chair for Comics Experiment at times, so you guys get to see more of this. I will figure out the lighting situation. It's very dark right now, but when you're doing a theater setting for your video games and your movies, you don't really want it super bright and whatever. You know, this I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of it, and I wanna show it in the video. I made a snack bar. So when people come over for Dungeons & Dragons or for work or for Comics Experiment or whatever, they have licorice and chocolate bars and Pocky, all that kinds of stuff. And I'm trying to make a mountain of amiibos here. My wife's disagreeing, so I don't know how tall it's gonna get before she stops me. These are more of the statues we've used on the set over the years. They just kind of got displaced. Before you ask, because everyone asks where we got these cases, they're cubes. We bought cubes from IKEA and they drilled together. And then this is my console collection because I collect them as just pieces to show off, which I'm finally doing. I've never done that to anyone but friends. No one's ever seen a video here. Lastly, this is where everything from the old house ended up and we don't have a spot for. So this is literally our board game / D&D figurine and stuff setup, like right here. This is why I wanted to move to this house. Imagine trying to move all this stuff to the other studio when you want to use it and then getting it back and it not being cluttered over there. Here we have space. I'm freely walking. This is Benny's comic book collection that almost no one has seen unless you've watched my stories on YouTube. It is over 20,000 books at one point. I have sold portions of it. I don't know where we're at anymore. But at its peak, I was breaking 20,000 books. I know that because we had to get the number counted up for a sale. We were possibly going to sell all the comic books. Never happened, so now I still have them all. So these are all the figurines and collectibles I picked up over the years that have no homes at all. They're just here. I don't know, maybe we'll sell them. But this is stuff you'll never see because it's never going to go out there until I, regretfully bring it out there and then say I was lying. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. But yeah, this is it. This is the studio tour. This is the studio we're using. This whole basement is being used for my own leisure, but also to actually film all of our projects and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you understand why I was so adamantly trying to move Dungeons & Ale to this space. Plus, the best part about this is, whenever we film our next Dungeons & Dragons thing, I don't have to wear pants. And that's the best part about having your studio in your basement. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Really do appreciate any comments or likes or whatever you guys can do on this video. We should be back with the hardcore game next week and then the week after that or the same week, depending on how well that video does, like in terms of like audio and video. We'll be putting out the Spider-Verse and getting back on track. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. We'll see you soon.